First, tell me, are you wearing that jacket to match your Kali Zaman?
I see where this is going.
नजर लगाई है तूने कसम से South Africa को. Like they were doing so well.
Bro,
they won me $200, and then
let me tell you what
you nuzered them so bad.
Let me tell you what it is. Okay. Mindset. Who beat them last time?
Same team.
Same team. So that was already playing on their minds, even though they were a great team. Right? Even though they were a great team.
I thought they took them easy. I thought they didn't come prepared.
Yeah, these upsets, every time these upsets are taking place, they're just taking it easy. All these guys.
You didn't believe in Netherlands, though.
No, I never believed that, guys, because I believed in South Africa. Because I thought they were going to be coming out hard.
Yeah, they should
playing the proper game, but I guess they weren't.
The next upset is going to come from the Afghani boys.
Again? Is it an upset? They've already done it once.
Yeah, Afghanistan has already they beat England.
The thing is, how do you drop 7 catches, miss a run out and a stumping and expect to win? You can't. And not like hard catches. Maybe like Rashid's catch was hard. Dollies, bro. Dollies straight through your hand. You can't drop those and expect to win a World Cup game.
Of course.
So I think that if they are to do another upset, which I wouldn't call it that, but if they are to do that again, to find a way to win, they have to hang on to those catches. Because if they don't hang on to those catches, it's not going to happen. And we've been talking about this for how many, like 3-4 episodes.
The only reason they won, what's it called, the England game was because they were quick in the field.
That's the difference.
They made sure they got their catches. They batted well, obviously, but obviously then the second part, bowling, the fielders have to support their bowlers, right?
Yeah,
that's what they did on the game.
See, talent-wise, most of these teams, you can put them head-to-head, right? Talent-wise, you're like, oh, this guy bats like this. Maybe a little bit of difference in experience, different exposure, maybe that. But talent-wise, I feel like most of them are like head-to-head, and that difference comes when it comes to fielding. Right, which comes from experience, being in that same spot over and over to learn that, okay, I got to turn this on right now. I got to, when the bowler's walking by, I can turn it off. Bowler's running, turn it. A game. Every day is a game. You can't drop those dollies and expect to win. Never. So,
that's why I'm loving this tournament so much, because it's 45 games. There's no such thing as a group.
Yeah.
Everybody's playing each and every team. Yeah. And, all the teams are very well balanced teams, including Afghanistan and Netherlands. If they have already upset a team like
they really played like
South Africa,
they played like a team.
They played like a team. They look like a team on the field that day. Maybe that's probably their last win of the tournament. Could be because it's Netherlands, right? I mean, I'm just saying. But still, all the teams are looking good. The way Netherlands, they were that was not their it was not like their first time in the rodeo, right?
Yeah, they beat South Africa in T20 World Cup as well, which is what caused what helped Pakistan qualify for the playoffs, right? So they beat the same team, South Africa, right? So maybe they have their number. Maybe that's their kryptonite.
Yeah, maybe yes. That's exactly what I was thinking. South Africa's kryptonite is Netherlands. The Dutch is demonizing South Africa again.
Is it because a lot of South Africans go and play Netherlands? A lot of the South Netherlands players do.
I think that inter-European thing is like all cricket active, right? Like there's probably cricket going on, but it's just that soccer is so huge in those countries, right? In that European continent, that cricket gets overlooked. But I think cricket is happening in all the European nations. The Dutch are just like now.
So I think somebody was saying they only
Ireland,
have 5,000
Scotland.
cricketers.
These teams have already played World Cups, right?
Yeah.
And it all goes back to this thing where how seriously do you take your sport and how much investment you do in your sport, right? So Netherlands, even if you look at them on the world stage when it comes to like football, if you look at them on the world stage, like they're fighters. They're fighters, and they do that orange means something to them. So they want to go out there, they want to cause a ruckus. And
I love the crowd too. Like you see, the crowd was so high. It was only like at one side of the stands, but you could hear they were loud, and I loved it.
It looked like a soccer game.
Yeah,
it looked like a World Cup soccer game.
Yeah,
yeah.
So how many? Here's a question for you guys: how many teams have defended the target they initially set?
In this World Cup, are you talking about?
Yeah.
How many teams have chased it?
No, defended.
Defended. Oh, it's okay. How many teams have defended the
I
target?
think maybe one.
I think so too.
I can't recall.
Everybody wants to chase.
That's true.
Even though they're back at
Netherlands defended the target.
Right.
Hmm.
That's the only game, I think.
Yeah, I think that's the only game.
Yeah, that's the only game.
Yeah. So that you could be right. It may be hard to defend. We kind of touched on this earlier too. That I think any total is chaseable on these grounds, anyways.
Look,
Right.
if you looked at India and Bangladesh's game today, it reminded you very much of like the Pakistan-India game up until a certain point. It was a slow, steady start, and then they lost wickets, and then they lost consecutive wickets.
That's been
There's been a lot. There's been many games like that.
that's
And,
a lot of games.
Even the New Zealand started off really young, scored a 50. But then
He was dropped on one.
He was dropped on one. The chunk of the score came from Tom Latham and Glenn Phillips in the middle, 6 and 7.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the Sri Lanka game where Sri Lanka versus Australia.
Yeah.
Sri Lanka started off like with both openers scoring like 70s, and then it's like what happened?
Yeah.
So they had a collapse.
Even today, Bangladesh had a good platform.
Yeah.
So they were almost to 200 around the 40 over the mark with 5 down. You know, if Pakistan was in that position, the match against India,
Right.
it would have been a different game altogether.
Right.
But what I think is happening is all these batters are coming in thinking, okay, we got a platform to go.
Yeah.
It's a batting surface,
Right.
and they're getting themselves out.
Yeah, the ball
A lot of
the beginning.
dismissals.
A lot of soft.
A lot of soft
I think
dismissals.
it's these pitches are a little harder to get into your rhythm when you're a new batsman because the ball starts turning after that 20th over or something.
Yeah, in the beginning, the ball doesn't do much.
Yeah.
The ball is just coming straight onto the bat. It's
Yeah,
like playing on like
it's a hard surface, right?
yeah.
Like Zampa was getting it to turn. New Zealand bowlers were getting it to turn.
Yeah.
Satner, right?
Mhm.
He's really having a World Cup, right? So,
And that's usually later on in the innings that the ball starts to turn a little bit.
Yeah.
In the beginning, it's even spinners. They can turn, but it's
I
not
guess
turning
newer
that
ball
much.
too, right? So it
Yeah,
just slides on.
exactly.
So I think that might be it. Like the new batsmen coming in aren't giving themselves enough time. Right? Pakistan the other day had 154 dot balls. Like 154 dot balls. That's
that was just a different a different approach.
Pakistan cricket,
altogether.
Pakistan cricket is just weird. If you look at it, it's just completely. You know, it's like you're watching cricket with other teams.
Yeah.
And when Pakistan is playing, it's like it's literally unpredictable. Just how they call them.
that's
Unpredictable on the day.
It's the game of ODI they're playing. I think it's a little bit dated because it doesn't always work. It doesn't always work to keep as many wickets till the end and then go for it.
right.
Which should have worked. It should have worked today for Bangladesh as well. But
on their day, Pakistan can just take off.
Right.
Right, like they would be like 10 overs and 70-80 for like no loss or probably 1 wicket.
Yeah.
But that day it comes out like when
bro, even that day you were at the 25th, 26th over
with 150.
150 already.
It was 5.7
and you're
runs.
only 2 wickets down. So you're looking at a ginormous total at that point with the power that you have.
True.
You've got true hitters on your team.
True. Well, the thing is, most of the teams are doing that though. Like even if you look at New Zealand, right? When they were playing against Afghanistan, right?
Yeah.
They did the exact same thing. In the last 10 overs, they scored 100 runs.
Yeah.
That's the theme for ODIs mostly. That you go to take it to 30th, 35th over, and then you try to double your score. Even though the extra fielder goes back, but because the ball is so old and your batsmen, your main hitters are in, you're able to get that 100 runs. Right, singles are available, doubles are available. You just gotta pick the gaps. I think Pakistan just fumbled, whatever it was. They just didn't connect. None of the batsmen came in and took time to rotate strike. 154 dot balls. You only played 40 overs. Right, that's what 70% of your innings was dot balls.
Exactly.
What are you doing?
In 50 overs, especially in a tournament like this, T20 can be easily applied into this format. It's the first 10 overs and the last 10 overs that you got to capitalize on as a batting team.
Yeah.
First 10 overs, last 10 overs, go at it.
Yeah.
Middle overs, let's say, you lose like in the first 10 overs, you lose like 2-3 wickets even, somehow.
Yeah.
7 wickets, enough to take care of that, middle 30 overs.
For sure.
And then, you would have, if you have good explosive batsmen at the end, like 8 7, 8.
Yeah.
Even if you have like a number 9 that can, cross the boundary.
Yeah.
Those last 10 overs and the first 10 overs can be crucial. The teams, I think that's what teams are doing, that they get a good start and then they fumble it right in the middle 20 overs, 25 overs.
That rotation is not working for a lot of teams.
Yes.
India is doing that well.
Oh my
New
God.
Zealand's doing that well.
Well,
Yes.
look, India is playing their own game. I hate to admit it, but look, at this point, it's been dominant performances, one after another, after another, after another.
Teaching those kids how to play.
Yeah, and look at it, like the explosiveness, right? The thing is, they bat so deep, right? And then when they look at a target like 250, 260, 280, they're like, this is nothing. Right? Like they have zero pressure on them when they have that, because if Rohit is not going to work, Shubman's going to work. If he's not going to work, you got Kohli right there.
They got batsmen for days.
You got batsmen for days that can bat all the way to the end.
Even I'm pretty sure, man. Like even if it comes down to like Siraj or like Bumrah, these guys, if Bumrah you can get that ball across the boundary too.
Yeah.
So it's not about talent. All these teams are here because they have talent.
Yeah.
It's just how you apply your talent into the field, how you do it when the team needs you. Are you stepping up?
They tried. They have the luxury of trying out the rest of their roster. Hardik just got hurt then, right? He just twisted his ankle.
Yeah. So do you think that's a big blow for India? Or do you think they have the depth for it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You can bring in.
He's a game changer. He's
definitely no doubt.
He's a game changer.
He's a top
tier. He has high energy, right? Like guys like him and Jadeja, like they make a difference on the field, right?
One way or another,
right? They're always involved in the match, whether they're getting a run out, taking a great catch, doing something. So
all round, basically all around. Like
all around.
Not just batting, bowling, and fielding, but thinking also. They pass that on to the bowlers. That if like Siraj is bowling or Bumrah is bowling, they talk to them.
Yeah,
if you've noticed that they talk to them, that's the key. You're not only a good player. You're an amazing player if you can bat, bowl. You're an even better player if you can, even a more expensive player if you field. If you can field, you bring all these 3D into the cricket.
Right.
You are a giant if you have the power to think and to change the game and know what's coming and know what you need to do to improvise. That's what makes you an exceptional player. And I think Hardik Pandya and Jadeja, these are the type of guys that go outside, that think outside the box.
Right.
Even Rohit. I mean, you can count, the players on your.
It's
India. Yes, all 15 of India. Yes.
The thing is, they have great game awareness. They're in the moment. They know exactly what they're doing.
Exactly.
Right. And what I like about them the most is like they seem to be like nobody knows what's going on in the locker rooms, right? And then this usually happens when you're winning. The locker room is very close together.
Yeah.
Right. There's not too much negativity. Everybody's bonding well. You that's just something that happens when you're winning.
I agree with you, but it's amazing. But I think it's the other way around. If yes, when you're winning, you have that positivity in the locker room. But I think you win because you have positivity in the locker room.
Right.
Absolutely,
exactly. Absolutely. No, I agree with you. Like, and they go hand in hand.
They go hand in hand,
right? So you're winning because you have positivity, and if you continue winning, then it builds on that positivity.
Exactly.
Right?
Which was working for Pakistan as well, but
which was working.
Exactly. Feel like it's not the case right now.
It feels like it's not the case right now.
It's because the pressure is on them, and they're taking a lot of pressure. All of these things that these guys were talking about, we're not looking at social media. We're not. They obviously are, and they're taking a lot of pressure, right?
A lot of pressure.
If personally, I find that if the game Pakistan-India game, if Pakistan didn't take the pressure, they would have been a different game. You saw some guys trying to do some weird things that you wouldn't normally do, and they threw it away. They basically threw away the game, and then they're like, okay, whatever. But nonetheless, that's Pakistan, and hopefully they bounce back.
Yeah.
But
speaking of bounce back, let's talk about Australia.
Yeah.
With that bounce back.
With the bounce back win against Sri Lanka, yes.
Back in the win column.
Usually it's Pakistan that brings players back into form. But
usually, if you think about it, Pakistan is the team. Like if let's say players come in from, like, somebody's making a debut.
Yeah.
do it against like
Do it against Pakistan.
yeah, exactly. Do it against Pakistan.
That's your team. But usually it's them. But then this time they got into form right before playing Pakistan.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So Pakistan definitely has something to worry about. But I think Australia, like Zampa came through, the openers are scoring, the middle order is scoring, everybody's chipping in,
Yeah.
right? They're getting a lot of bad decisions. LBW, right? Warner got one, Smith got one. Stoinis, we talked about those two, right? But right, the next game, Warner, down leg. I don't know what's going on with that DRS.
Yeah.
That's not where the impact was. That ball should have been going down leg.
Yeah.
So some things weren't going their way, but they found a way to win, and they did a very complete team performance against Sri Lanka.
They did. It was an overall performance, batting, bowling, and fielding.
Yeah.
They
still dropped a couple catches, but they found a way.
They found a way to, what's it called? Help. Yes, they. But the spark in the fielding was better than the past few games.
For sure.
They dropped catches, yes. And I don't know, that's been the case this World Cup. A lot of catches being dropped. I don't know why. Maybe it's the outfield, or
it's a bad light.
It's a bad light, or just the weather itself. Maybe it's just starting. Like in players are starting to build interest into the matches.
I think they do enough practice, so that shouldn't be.
It should be second nature.
Yeah,
it's part of the game. It's just nobody likes to drop catches, so it happens. Yeah. Especially if you're Australia. Like I mean, if anything, they get the most embarrassed. But I think here's the thing. I think mental, state of a team is dictating a lot of wins.
Yeah.
Right. So if you go in, the only way that Pakistan is going to win against Australia is if they go in being like, we can beat them.
Yeah.
Right. That's the only way that they're going to win. If they go in like, it's Australia, go for that dominance.
Yeah.
Go for it. Go make your mark, and then just play this fearless cricket. Right. Same thing happened with Australia, right? Australia was like, okay, I'm sure this is a game that we can win.
Right.
Right? Because if you look at it, even Australia, like it's weird that you're saying it about them. They've taken a whole bunch of losses against India recently.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And
South Africa.
Yeah.
Right? And they just had, both of them had series like right before the World Cup, right? So one after the other kind of. And they're coming off those losses, so they know they can be beat. And that's playing onto the field. When it comes to Sri Lanka, they're like, well, we got this.
Right.
Yeah, they've got spinners. Yeah, they got this. But, they've got an experience. We got this. And if they treat Pakistan like that, they're definitely going to win. So it's all of it's going back to what kind of state you're coming in on the field with.
Yeah, all these top teams, let's take out Afghanistan and Netherlands for a bit, because they are newbies, right? So they're just they're not the contendership of the tournament. All these 8 teams, when they go head to head, when they lock horns, it's literally only a mental, whoever wins mentally, the mental battle takes the W.
Yeah.
Talent, there's no shortage of talent in all of these teams, all sides.
Like the way that, yeah, absolutely, man.
Right?
The way that
I mean, look at this. I mean, there hasn't been many upsets in this World Cup. Every World Cup has a couple of upsets.
True.
But not even a couple, like maybe one. One or let's say 2. We only have had 2 upsets. The Netherlands beating South Africa, and then what's it called? Afghanistan beating England, right? Yeah. Both of these games, I can guarantee you, it was just a loss of mental presence was not there in the game. You could say that they took them easy, or you could say they just caught them off guard. These teams, with their abilities, it's just a lack of mental presence.
It's a little bit of that, but talent wise, yeah, you're absolutely right. If anyone has something to be disappointed for, is Bangladesh. They've had really bad performances, and they haven't recovered at all. It's not the Tigers that
They missed their captain too, right? He's like a top 3 all rounder around the world. You missed that presence.
Sure, but you also have some really good young talent as well. That give you a really good. It comes down to. They had some opportunities with even with India today. Like if the slip was there, they would have. They're not attacking the new batsman, right? Same thing with Pakistan. They're not attacking the new batsman. Yeah. So a lot of it for me is going back to, because you look at it, all of these players have enough exposure, enough everything, so they should be able to perform. This is what players live for.
Yeah.
When you look at the football World Cup. All these guys, when they go out and they lose and they're out, they're crying. They're crying because they worked so hard to be on that stage. And I'm just finding it not as personally, I'm not finding this World Cup as competitive as I would like to see it.
Even the
Agreed.
upsets,
It's
even the
not.
upsets are not close games.
Yeah.
Like there hasn't been close games.
It hasn't been.
We've been crying about this for a while now.
I agree with you guys, and this is what got me thinking. Do you think, like how, World Cup in soccer is huge, but Champions League is even bigger?
Yeah.
Do you think this has something to do with, is it the IPL effect? Is it the IPL, like over...
It's a T20 effect, I would
It is a
say.
T20 yeah, exactly. So, but even in the T20, the biggest event is what is IPL, right?
Right.
Everybody's
IPL, T20 World Cup, right? Those are the events.
not even the World Cup. I think just IPL itself. Everybody like okay, if you speak to kids, if you go and talk to kids that are coming up in these cricket academies, right?
Yeah.
Yes, kids, they want to represent their country, but all the kids and the young kids and the kids and all those young players that are coming up the ladder of, their international teams, they're trying to land that IPL contract or such contract of such leagues.
I don't think that has anything to do with the level of the sport. I think that has a lot to do with the money.
Exactly, it's all about money, right? Because kids know where the money is.
But if you're talking like cricket, like level, like where is it the best on display, I would say the T20 World Cup is probably where.
All I'm saying is, look, this is a cricket World Cup.
Yeah.
The biggest stage. I mean, the biggest stage of cricket in the world. Where is it happening? In the hub of cricket in the world. Biggest country, biggest cricketing nation in the world.
Right.
Right there, where the money is, where you get to grab amazing players to play for teams like Kolkata Knight Riders or Delhi Capitals or whatever. Like it feels like this World Cup is not picking up legs. We're into the match 17th of the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I see the point that you're making, right?
Mm-hmm.
But even with IPL could have been Champions League if Pakistan was still allowed to play in IPL.
That's different. That's more political. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, IPL cannot be
political or non-political, but it's you cannot say that's basically Champions League because you're alienating a huge side.
But still, other than Pakistan, all the teams have players playing in IPL. You know what I mean? Even going down to players from Canada representing.
Yeah, but because of that, because if we're talking about the sport. Right.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to talk about the sport and the growth of the sport and everything to do with that, right? If you want to make it the Champions League, if you, there's talks right now that the bid is accepted that the cricket's going to be looked at in the Olympics.
In the Olympics,
in the Olympics, right? It's going to be looked at. So they don't know if they're going to vote on it yet or not.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be looked at, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is even with alienating one side, Pakistan had to go to PSL. And then Australia went to Big Bat, and then you got all of these other leagues. So T20 is, like you were saying, T20 is that factor. But even for T20, right? Even if it's T20, then why are we not seeing closer games? Because T20 games are a lot more closer.
Well, that's just it, right? So the players don't have the temperament to build that inning. Like we were talking about middle overs, players are still not going for those singles, because why India is succeeding, right? I'll talk about India again. Is because Rohit Sharma and Gill up top, they use the power play well.
Yeah.
Right. So when Kohli and KL Rahul and these guys or Shreyas Iyer, these guys are coming in the middle, they don't have to go for boundaries. Right. They can just milk the bowlers. If the bad ball is there, obviously put it away. So that's happening for India and it's working well.
Yeah.
Other teams, especially England, right, are not doing that. Any new batsman coming in takes 10 balls, goes after the ball. This is not T20 anymore. You need to use the 50 overs. How many teams are unable to play the 50 overs?
Yeah, that's
because of that reason.
Yeah.
Right? So you're coming in, you're taking your 10 balls, and then you're going after the bowler. You don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Right? New Zealand has showed us, India have showed us that, hey, you just take your time, you get there, and you'll get that 350. You just rotate the strike. Just get to the other side.
Absolutely.
It's okay. Like, take your time. It's okay if you have bad balls. Like Kohli, his strike rate is 87.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when he goes home, when the game is done, he somehow finds a way to get above that 100. Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's the T20 factor where players are coming in and just going after the ball, and that's why the teams are not able to convert and not able to get to the 50 over mark. Not able to, like Bangladesh today, three players scored 40 plus.
Yeah.
Right. two got 50, and Mohamed at the end got 46,
Yeah.
right? I think a couple of guys got 30s too. You didn't convert. Why? Because you're going after the big shots.
And see, but the thing is, like, look, I'll go back to the start that they had. They had a decent start. It was actually a good start.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm the coach,
It was
right?
a 100-run partnership.
Yeah, absolutely. They had a great platform to just go for it. But this is what I'm saying. Like, if I'm the coach, and this is ODI cricket, I'm saying, okay, my top 6 guys, I want you guys to go out there and try to get a 50.
Yeah.
Take your time.
Take your time.
Take your time. Because you're going to put the loose ones away, but it gives you something to build.
100%.
Get there, like, try to go. Obviously, all of them are not going to get to that, but some might convert that into 100.
Exactly.
Right? But it's important. Build that inning, right?
Build that. The thing
play
is,
the 50 overs.
if you rotate strike, it takes the pressure off of everybody.
It's really simple, man.
So if you take, I'll go back to that game again. If you take Pakistan's inning, they're 150 in 25 overs. They finished at 190, right? If you take the 154 dot ball and you slice that in half, and you take that as singles, not even boundaries, just singles, you add 75 runs. Now your score is 260.
No, totally.
So that's a defendable score, or at least a good game that you can enjoy as a viewer.
Yeah.
So maybe you know what? Maybe these guys don't really want to play the 50 overs. No,
that's what I'm saying. Because the thing is,
that's what it's looking like.
Exactly. I mean, right? you. Okay, if the T20 World Cup was right now, if this was a T20 World Cup, I guarantee you, it was I think even players would, I think it would have turned into like a war basically.
Yeah.
Onto the field.
Well, it's a 3-hour too, right? So you're able to have that mental capacity to focus for 3 hours.
I think the only time this tournament is going to get somewhat, worthy of attention, I think towards the end, where it's going to
which is kind of like not fun in my opinion. I want it to be closer, man.
Yeah.
I want to see a lot more closer games.
A lot more nail biters.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, and because it's not, you got to understand, this is not your usual World Cup where you just come in, you have 2 groups, 4 teams here, and then the winners of the knockout stage. That it's such a prolonged tournament that now the mixing and the switching and substitutions of the players is going to be critical, because it's a 50 over tournament. It's a prolonged tournament. You gotta have
injuries. Yes, injuries have been synonymous as well.
Exactly, injuries are dropping in now. You have to look at it that way. And players, obviously, they're not. I think they're just not picking the ball up right now, because they see that length of the tournament and how long it is and the days it takes to get to the fifth. They play 150 over game, they get to the next 50 over game, then they have to play another one, and then you have to play all these 9 teams. I'm just getting tired thinking about it.
Yeah.
So the players, where they will be, and I think they should have this. This format for all of these tournaments for each format.
Agreed.
Like 50 overs and T20s.
Agreed. Yeah.
The same format applied in T20 would bring you great results, viewership with the commercially and athletics on the field too.
And it makes more sense too. Like, there's no point in coming to the world stage and still never get to play like a team, right?
Yeah,
if you're in a group and then you're the least performer in that group, and then you get kicked out. You never you came to the world stage, you never had the chance to play some of the teams that you might never have bilateral series with anyways, right?
Yeah.
So I like the format. I like the format. I'm liking it a lot.
Yeah.
But it just and yes, I think it is the T20 factor. A lot of it, especially because think about it. Even after this World Cup, we're going to lose a lot of. We talked about this in one of the first few episodes, right? We're going to lose a lot of the older players that we know. We're probably not going to see them. So there's a lot of young talent. Young talent is being built up on T20. Right? Yeah. And it's interesting you say that about dot balls and the ODI cricket. Like, if you look at Rizwan and Babar, they run great between the wickets.
Yeah.
In that particular match, around the 35, 36 run mark, it took them forever to get to those 50s.
Yeah.
Usually these guys are just like dropping it and running.
Yeah.
And they can easily do that time and time again. So maybe this is a factor. Like, maybe Rizwan's thinking, like, I got to bat, and if I bat here long, then I got to go, keep for 50 overs. That's a long time.
That's a long time. That's for a keeper, for sure.
For a
50,
keeper.
50, it's tiring, understandable. 8-9 hours, you're out there. I was watching New Zealand's travel video. Holy shit. Like, bro, this guy gets it's just a view of one of the bags, right? They load the bag at 4 or 5 a.m. into the container, and then they get up 9 a.m. to go do the thing, right? They go breakfast, get ready for the airport, or 7 a.m. or something like that. They get to the airport 9 a.m. Flight's not till 12. They take off. It's not that big of a country compared to Canada, right? It's not that big of a country. They go, they make a layover somewhere to refuel, and then they landed at their destination, Dharamshala, I think they're playing next. They landed there. It was 5 p.m. So your day started at 5 a.m. This is just travel day.
Yeah.
You know,
wow, 12 hours to just travel within the country.
Within the country, that's ridiculous. You know, so that's
tiring.
That's poor planning.
That's poor planning. That's tiring, and then you still have to go to practice.
Exactly.
Right? And then you're playing 8-9 hour games. So I understand the fatigue that you're referring to.
Fatigue factor, yes.
Maybe that's a factor in there, but I think the mental aspect of switching from T20 to 50 over really needs to happen. With 3 games in, I think this week is all 4 games, fourth game for most teams. That fatigue also means that there's a high chance of injury, and that needs to be looked after.
Yeah.
I think the players know something that we don't know.
Like what?
But I don't think the ODI
What do you
format
know?
is going to be
Around for a
much
while?
longer. Yeah.
So that means this World Cup means much more. You won the last one.
I was saying the same thing the other day. You guys were like,
No, you're saying
test.
test cricket. You're saying test cricket.
Oh, the test is gone for sure.
No.
Full ODI.
I think they'll keep the only 2 formats that will probably survive is like
Test in T20?
Test in T20.
Yeah.
Test in T20.
We won't have that debate again.
Yeah. No, but
I think they're gonna get rid of test first.
So, if you are the selectors, other than the obvious change of Osama Mir, right, for Shadab,
For tonight's game against Australia.
is there any other changes you make in the 11?
No, man. I don't think I'm gonna change anything. I'll keep Abdullah Shafiq and Imam with. I think Imam's out or Abdullah Shafiq is out because I was hearing that he might be in quarantine. He's going through some flu. Yeah. So he is going to be. If he's out, then Fakhr comes in. But if he's out, that's the case. But
Fakhr can come in tonight and capitalize if that's the case.
Exactly. This is going to be his.
You think he's had a good 3-game break?
Yeah.
Or 2-game break?
Not two. Like
it's not a break. He was kicked out of the team. Like he should take it as that. He shouldn't take it as a break.
Yeah.
He should take it as like, they literally kicked me out of the team.
I think Pakistan was very patient with him. Very patient.
No, they've been patient with him. He's been the go-to guy for a long time.
Yeah.
And and to be honest, patience has to run out. And if he comes in today just for whatever reason, he should really capitalize on it.
Yeah.
And if that happens, Fakhr comes in, scores a little bit of runs, and if Imam doesn't, next game, whenever the quarantine is over, I think it would be Fakhr and Abdullah that would be opening. You know, I would think so. But for tonight's game specifically, I think keep the same team with. I think Osama Mir is going to come in. Shadab's out, and the rest of the team the same.
Yeah.
You don't make any changes in the bowling department?
Well, I can't make the change in the bowling department.
There is nobody.
I would like my change that I want to make.
Right.
You want to take Haris Rauf out?
I want to take somebody out and bring in what's my boy
Zaman.
Yeah, Zaman is in reserves. I want him in too.
I know, bro.
But the thing is, he's in reserves.
He's in the reserves, bro. So,
this is what I'm saying. When he said, if you guys were the selectors, you know what I was thinking? I wish it was true.
Yeah.
I wish I was a selector.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it'd be different. Bro, I would keep it. But whatever the case is, look, at the end of the day, I hate this whole concept of like, experience. Yeah, experience matters. Being in this situation matters, but that only matters if you get to where you're trying to get to. If you just get knocked out before you even get to where, what are you going to do with the experience, right? True. So what I mean by that is, look, Fakhr Zaman has no excuse, right? Openers have no excuse because look, you've got some really good talent, right behind, like Saima Ayub, right? You've got Muhammad Haris, right? Explosive guys up at the top. So maybe they'll come in.
All the good ones. So what I'm getting out of this is that all of us just want one change.
Yeah, that's the only one that makes sense because I don't think you have better. I don't think Wasim can bowl it.
I mean, I hope it doesn't happen. Sorry, go ahead. Wasim Jufri, yes, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Then if you take out Hassan Ali or you take out Haris, you don't have a new ball bowler. Haris, he's been bowling well other than since the World Cup started, right? Asia Cup, he was bowling well. Right.
Which game did he bowl well? Against India, did he bowl well?
Well, now nobody bowled well in that game.
I mean, that's what it counts, right?
But the other games he did bowl well against Sri
Look,
Lanka.
there was a time that these guys rose to, it all started after both of them got injured. Before that, if we remember,
These guys were on a roll.
before that, if you remember, they were saying this is the most lethal bowling attack, right? You had Naseem Shah, Haris Rauf, Shaheen Shah Afridi.
Naseem Shah makes a lot of difference in this. You can say this. Naseem Shah is basically the punch of the thing.
He holds a
He
whole
holds the whole. He holds Shaheen and
world.
he does the swing and the pace.
and the thing is, he's a young, ambitious bowler, right? And that's what I feel about. Look, in the middle overs, this goes back again to the format. The reason why Zaman is crucial is because he can come in
and death.
You can give him you've trusted him to give him the 18th, 19th overs in very crucial matches, like the Sri Lanka match, like incredible bowling.
Yeah.
Right, the close match that we lost Asia Cup. Yeah. Incredible bowling, right? But even the middle overs, you need someone who can just bowl line length, right, and get just do damage control. He's the guy that if someone's getting licked, you can go and just be like, just bowl, just give me some read. Just give me some damage control, right? Bowl some full. Give me some damage control. You can do that.
And just like with the batting, how you need to build the partnerships. I mean, you guys know that too. You know, just how you need partnerships in your batting. Yeah. You need partnerships in the bowling too. Yeah. Now with Shaheen and Naseem being there, they got adjusted. They adapted to each other. It took them a little while, but they became familiar with each other's. Yes.
Sure, because if Shaheen didn't land the wicket, he got so used to, which is kind of dumb of him. Like, you're not always going to get the wicket in your first 2 overs. Yeah. T20, different story altogether.
Yes.
Right? But ODI cricket.
Yeah. Even when Shaheen wouldn't get a wicket in the first over, like then as from the outside, everybody would bank on Naseem Shah to do some. He would come in and he would bowl swings. He would trouble the batsman. Yeah. Even if he didn't take a wicket, next over, Shaheen coming back, he would have another go at it, and then that's when he would pick a wicket. Because now the batsmen are troubled because they've had the left arm swinging the ball in and out, and the right arm coming in with pace, coming in and bowling, swinging it in and out, and troubling the batsman basically. Yeah. Right now, I think Shaheen is not adjusted to Hassan Ali. It's going to take him at least a couple or 3 more games to get adjusted with each other's prowess.
It's just an excuse, though.
It's not an excuse. I'm just saying it's just natural, right? You have not look. It's going from Naseem Shah to Hassan Ali as an opening bowler. Yeah. It's a day and night difference.
Yeah. You dropped 15K in pace.
You dropped 15K in pace, and you have toned down on swing too.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a totally different ball game.
Hassan Ali is doing his job, though, right?
No, it's not about. I'm not talking about an individual. I'm not talking about individual. I'm talking about partnerships and bowling. That's what happens. Let's say like Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill. Right. Now you take Shubman Gill out, right, and then Ishan Kishan comes in like he did against. No, he got out on golden bat against Australia.
No, the next game.
I'm just saying it takes a little bit of time with the new partner. It just works with everything.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Serious question.
And so just
you used to bowl.
Yes.
You used to bowl.
Yes.
Well, you know what I mean, right?
He just wants to know if we know the.
So, did you guys want the new ball?
I did, yeah.
I mean, I was more of a spinner.
Okay.
But so I just want the new ball. Yes.
Okay. So, how crazy of an idea is it to let Haris bowl from the other end?
The thing is, he doesn't get any swing. He doesn't. So there's a.
But new ball, whatever he's gonna say, because he's gonna say. Because he knows what's up.
It's a new ball, right? You have to utilize it as well.
But the ball's not swinging anyways.
No, not swinging, but still seaming. For Hassan Ali, it's still seaming, right? So not necessarily swinging as much, right? But it's still seaming off the surface. Then Haris Rauf also can't control the new ball.
Exactly. Main. This is the main point. He will not be able to have a grip.
Yeah.
Like he's complete. Like he's gonna be like. In T20 still, I would
Right.
try give him the new ball. 150 overs?
But what I'm saying
That's
is,
dangerous.
like T20 when he comes in, the ball compared to ODI, the ball is relatively.
It's a different type of ball. So a lot. What depends, right? So a lot of times, a ODI ball might be different than a T20 ball, right? Just the quality of it. Right?
Mm.
Secondly, T20 also gets hammered too, right, in the first 6 overs. So
Yeah.
he usually bowls 1 over in the power play in T20.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you come in, you do crossing. So maybe they can use him, and he does a lot of crossing, like a lot of the other bowlers are getting the ball to skid. He can do
The new
that.
bowler should be able to swing the ball, like, in my opinion.
Well, what about you've seen this approach being tried? You start off
The
with the
spinner.
spin.
So that's what I was going to go to next. So,
And believe it or not,
Yeah.
Pakistan was like one of the first.
with Imam Wasim, right? Imam
Not-
Wasim.
With Imad, and I think they might they've been
Also,
doing it with Saeed Ajmal.
yeah.
Saeed Ajmal, no, even Hafiz, right?
Hafiz
Mm.
times.
With the new
Mm.
ball too, right?
New
So I don't know why I'm getting all the names mixed up. But yeah, so like,
late for you.
yeah,
It's the
that
Pakistan shirt.
Yeah.
No, so Imad Wasim and also Mohammad Hafiz, I was going to say that they could do that. So let's say if they were to play Wasim Jr. Instead of, for instance, like let's say Shaheen's not feeling so well with his knee and whatnot, what they can do is they can give the new ball to Nawaz, right? He can come in with the new ball with Hassan Ali, and maybe after the 7th, 8th over, you get a 3-4 over spell from him. You bring in Haris, right? That's a possibility.
You're saying Nawaz with Hassan Ali or Nawaz with Shaheen?
No, if Shaheen, let's say Shaheen's not feeling well with his knee,
He wants to bring in Wasim Jr.
then and you have to play Wasim
Play
Jr.
with I agree with that.
Because
Okay,
it's,
so quite a question.
Nawaz is the only option. And still, like if the team is all together, like Shaheen, Hassan Ali, and Haris over playing, I wouldn't give spinners the opening. I don't think any team has given. I think other than New Zealand, right?
Afghanistan does it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say okay. Mujibur Rahman is a spinner, is a type of spinner that you can give to because he has variations, right? He's got a lot of variations.
No,
He's
no,
got
a lot of teams.
I think I've seen
Who
it
else?
2 or 3 times.
2 or 3 times. There's a few teams. They've done it.
Who?
Netherlands have done it.
Okay, so you're talking about Afghanistan and Netherlands. I'm talking about top teams, the ones with pacers that are of high
I
quality.
think that's not the strategy,
That's-
maybe, right? Like that's not the thing.
No,
But they're not doing it because the thing is, I think on these tracks, spinners would get hit
Not necessarily. So the reason
unless they're really accurate with their ball.
they are. So the thing is, the reason why you would do that is because you don't have a new ball bowler, right? If you
Yeah, because the thing is,
extend that,
yeah,
spell,
I get it. But these,
then you bring in a spinner.
Afghanistan and Netherlands, it applies to, but it cannot be applied to the other 8 teams. So why I think
Because here's the thing.
because they have all
Shubman Gill
Yes.
has an average of 7 or 13, something like that. Very low against left armers, right? So that's one.
Okay.
And then also Rohit Sharma also struggles a little bit with the spin because they want the ball to come onto the bat. So it's not the most terrible idea to start off with spin even in 50 overs because you can. You have even like for Pakistan, even like if the Khar or if you're playing Agha Sultan, you can ball
Oh,
then you
please, no.
Okay,
no,
so
no,
follow-up
no,
question.
That would be death.
Follow-up question.
In my opinion.
So, if let's say you already come out with that game plan, right? Let's say you're Pakistan, you already come out with that game plan,
right.
Is it detrimental to the bowler's confidence? Like, it's like, okay, just to experiment, I'm going to give you first 2 overs, and after that, we're going to go back to the plan that we have,
Not necessarily.
right? But maybe he gets hit, and then you think you took him off because of that. But if you go in with that plan, you say, okay, just give me a few overs, let's see what happens. Is it bad to experiment that, or do you need to give him
No,
like
I think at
the power play?
at this
or you need to give
stage,
him-
like this is not club cricket. You
Right.
know, you're not going to have somebody pack up their kit and leave.
Yeah.
So you should be able to
Did you do
understand. Not me,
Oh.
but you should be able to understand that sometimes teams require something else. Just because you always bowl the new ball doesn't mean you're going to get it every single time. Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like
You are teams experiment all the time. I think
Yeah.
Pakistan is the least experiencing.
that's what I want them to do.
So yeah, they should experiment.
Okay. You're saying they should experiment with a spin
If
in the power play?
if the new ball bowler isn't available, or if the batsman struggles against spin, what's the harm?
All I'm saying to you guys,
I'm always up for experimentation, but the thing is with Pakistan, I mean, yeah, you can 1 or 2 overs. I guess
see,
you
remember-
can give it.
remember last one of the episodes I was talking about experimenting with the batting order. You guys gave me the danda. Okay. I said,
I mean, yeah, you
what
can.
I'm saying is
Most of the luxury too.
what I'm saying is remember they've been successful when they've tried that before.
Warm up games, yeah.
Different format. They've been successful.
All right, when this is Nawaz up or something like that. Yeah.
right? So all I'm saying is you've got a group of like if you look at Pakistan, right, on again, paper looks good. Maybe it's not as competitive compared to like when you do side by side matchup, you look at it like, okay, it's a little bit weak. I think that's where captaincy or coaching or something different has to happen, where they're like, okay, against Australia, we're gonna try something different. Same team,
but
a little bit of
so
an
what
experiment.
would you? Okay, but so the thing is, the batting is very. It's not just give me. Oh, let's experiment with the batting. You gotta understand where would you experiment in the opening, in your the 1 down, 2 down.
I think it's
your
middle order.
middle
No,
order. Okay.
I'm even saying. I'm just saying, just be different for once.
Oh, no. I'm yeah. I need to
So
understand
maybe,
like
maybe
where.
Rizwan and Babar just go open
It's-
for
it's-
ODIs.
No, that's just
So that's you're talking about top order.
I'm talking about I'm talking about bringing a spinner in, giving him the first.
Do you think it would be effective to open it with Babar and
no,
Rizwan?
no. This is just his brain clutter. That whenever he feels something needs to change, he wants to just change, just for the sake of change.
Just for the sake of changing?
No.
Change
That's how you
sometimes
do it.
work. Sometimes it works.
No.
Why can't tell me a good reason why? Why can't you have your T20 openers go open for you?
Because it's a specialist role. We already.
Look, what has happened recently with Pakistan's batting in the last few games? Collapsed. How can you afford to send the only 2 players that actually scored in the possessions to what I
That's what stops it.
What okay, I see your point. I think the one if you want to experiment with the middle order. It's one of these. Okay, let's say you start with the middle order. Let's go with 5. Who's number 5? It's usually Iftikhar, right? Shadab, Saud Shakil, Shadab.
Saud Shakil before.
Yeah. Okay, Saud Shakil, Shadab, Iftikhar, and what's it called? Hassan Ali, you can say in there. After that. After the top player, Nawaz, and then Hassan Ali. So let's say these 5, right? This is your middle order. Let's keep it till Nawaz. These 4 batsmen. Which one of these are extraordinary hitters? Because in that position, you don't right? There's only one. So now you're left with Saud Shakil, Shadab, and Nawaz. If you want to experiment, into the batting, I think this is the 3 that you need to experiment with.
That's what he wants.
Okay,
You want some sort of an experiment.
Okay, you want to? Me too. I want it. I was saying that like if you want to play Fakhr, experiment him down the order,
Right.
because he can hit, right?
Right.
And you need out of these 3, with Iftikhar you give him Fakhr who can also hit.
Right.
Maybe that will click.
And yeah.
But I mean, nobody's gonna be willing to do that.
That's probably the only experiment I'd be okay with. But whatever you were saying, no.
Okay. So maybe Fakhr and Rizzi open.
No, because here's the thing.
Fakhr and Rizwan.
What? No, I'm just messing around.
I see, but I mean, if Fakhr and Rizwan can open, Abdullah Shafiq comes 1 down, maybe, and then, or maybe Fakhr and Abdullah Shafiq open, and then Rizwan come 1 down, Babar come 2 down. So no way.
You guys already almost wanted to shoot me when I said Babar can go 2 down. You guys said no, that's his spot. He's gonna come 1 down. We keep Babar at 1 down.
Yes.
We can experiment with the top order.
No,
we can
here's
experiment
why.
with
I'll tell you
4,
why.
5, 6.
I'll tell you what.
Why?
You don't send Rizwan open because that's your only informed bat.
Yeah, exactly.
Exposing him to that much swing, why would you do that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Jesus. I mean, look, man. The same conversation can be had when you go to T20.
Because T20 is.
What I'm saying is, look, okay, you're only so okay. Give me the batsmen that you want to protect, and you want them to play exactly where they're playing.
The top, pretty much.
Which one do you want to
all
protect?
of them.
No,
I want to protect
you just
all of them.
you just said both of them can't open because those are the 2 guys that are consistent. First of all, that's wrong because Babar's only been only managed a 50.
Right.
A measly 50 in the last innings. Before that, he was flopping hard. You could have him as a captain could have experimented himself if he wanted to.
I mean, I don't
But
think.
you
I
just
think.
keep him there for the chance of something's going to happen.
I don't think Babar is there yet to think of these kind of experimentations.
That's the problem.
And like with captaincy, I think he's just right now. He's just trying to like get the people to start playing.
Before you
I
start
think
saying
I think here's my hunch. Tonight, you guys are going to see an experiment.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I'm putting $20.
No, it's not happening.
You think? Okay, what kind of experiment? You gotta. I need to know, right? I can't just be like, oh, an
I
experiment.
don't know, but I know experiment.
He does have the Kali Zuban.
But it's not Netherlands. He got Netherlands.
It's Mubarak's fault. I'm destroying the confidence of listen.
Salesman of the year.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm downing the confidence of these other teams. Right.
Okay, no, but
So
what
Sri
kind
Lanka's going to get a win.
of, okay, what kind of experiment do you think is going to be happening tonight? I want to know.
They better.
Huh?
They're playing Netherlands. They better.
Who?
Sri Lanka.
You never know.
That's
Don't count on Netherlands, but
That's true.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think there's going to be an experiment.
If Osama Mir's coming in Shadab, he's going to bat where Shadab was batting. That's just the switch. That's not. I don't think.
Right. Okay, so I think we're going to see something crazy happening in bowling, and there's going to be one change in the batting. That's all what I can tell you. I cannot tell you guys anymore.
These are the spirits that told you this.
Just don't ask me where I get this information. It's going to happen. When it happens today,
how do you guys get this shit right? I swear to God, man, you guys take a shotgun and shoot shit in the dark.
One's gonna hit,
and one just hits.
That's right.
Listen,
as long as it's on camera.
As long as it's on camera. Right?
All I'm saying is, keep doing the same thing over and over again is the definition of insanity.
Oh wow,
that's.
Would you read that quote?
Einstein. Listen, so
that it sounded better when you said it. You know what I mean?
My God.
That's Tom.
He said it. Yeah. So it applies to the PCB too.
It applies to PCB. They keep doing the same thing. So tonight, let's focus in on the game tonight.
Yes.
Australia, Pakistan. Who we got to win?
Pakistan.
Yeah, I think Pakistan's going to take it because the thing is, it's not India. So
I've got whoever's chasing winning the match.
I think Pakistan's going to win because they're not playing India. So today they're going to have a little bit of balls and a little bit of
they're gonna bounce back for sure. But again, Australia is in a critical situation. They need to win as well.
Yeah, that would be a third loss.
But yes. But, okay, who do you think has a better bowling lineup going into this matchup? Considering the fact that both Pakistan has been Pakistan has won 2 out of the 3 games, and Australia has 1 out of 3 games, but they're both on kind of shaky grounds. Who do you think will have a day in the bowling department?
I think Pakistan has a better day in the bowling department. Regardless, I don't think bowling is going to matter as much as the fielding.
Bowling is going to matter because I'm saying it has to matter. It has to matter because the thing is, it's going to both team. Australia has a very good batting lineup. So Pakistan has a pretty decent batting.
I'll piggyback off of what he said.
Because the thing is, it's you can understand the fact that both of these teams, like he said, are gonna be coming, like you said too. They're gonna be coming to win the game, right? And they're gonna be heavily relying on their batting. They're gonna try to score runs, and whoever has the best answer to that batting,
I think
is gonna take it.
Pakistan wins, but not the team that's chasing. The team that hangs on to all their catches is gonna
win. Better fielding side.
That's gonna be the team that happens to be chasing. I'm just telling you. Look, I'm going to tell you. Today, Pakistan wins the toss. They haven't won the toss.
If they do,
going to go in and he's going to say something other than tails. So hopefully.
Babar, please get that mantra from
Hardik Bhatia. He was talking to me basically.
Yeah. You see, it has to be because you're only 2. You're like no shit.
Sent in the spirits.
Let me tell you. Babar wins the toss by calling heads.
Okay.
He chooses to bowl first.
I always choose tails.
That's the problem. That's the same problem Babar is having. Tail.
The probability is that tails will be, I think, 55% versus heads.
Oh my God.
That's
I'm going to tell you guys. No,
it's a 50-50.
No, it's not.
It's actually 50.
It's not.
It's probability. It's probability. It's 100%
because of the coin.
It doesn't matter. No, that doesn't matter.
Look it up.
Every draw or every
you never
50-50.
You never did this experiment in math class.
I'm telling you, look it up.
I've done this experiment.
Yes.
And in Canadian coins, you can do that because the side the head's on, is the weighted side with the queen's head on it, right? So it's more prominent.
Yeah.
But even then,
I'm sure they're using the queen too.
No, you do it enough times, the probability is 50-50.
But even if there's weight on one side.
Yeah.
There's only two sides.
Yeah, it's probably
So you cannot have more. It's only a 50-50
They
chance.
Let's not dwell.
Listen,
Some good games coming up this weekend. Not just the Pakistan,
Yeah.
Australia. Stop being biased.
Netherlands,
Sri Lanka.
Belize, Sri Lanka.
Nobody cares about.
So whatever you said that about Netherlands, can you say that about Pakistan today?
I already said it.
No.
You said it. You didn't say. You last time I didn't say
He
that.
said the toss. He said the
He
toss.
said
and
the toss. Pakistan
Then
gonna win.
Pakistan wins the toss
Yeah.
with heads,
And they chase.
They chase. If they chase, they win.
That's the prediction.
That's my prediction.
All right, it is what it is then.
Saturday we have after the Netherlands.
Saturday we have a good game.
It's a good game.
We have England and we have South
South
Africa.
Africa.
Yeah.
Both England's coming
Yeah.
again. England's in a similar predicament than like Australia,
Yeah.
right? So they gotta win.
They gotta win.
And South Africa is coming off an embarrassing loss.
Yeah.
They gotta
Yeah.
win.
And Sunday we're all calling in sick because it's the undefeated teams.
And it.
That's
Going
gonna
head
be
to
a
head.
good game.
Yes.
That is about to be a good.
That's gonna be a good game.
That is gonna. If you want the hint or taste of the semis,
That's it.
that's it.
Mhm.
That's
That's
gonna
it
be a
right
good
there.
game. That's a good weekend.
That's good,
Like
good.
it is week 4.
Yeah.
Week number 4
Yeah,
is
it's just good. It's a defining week
Yeah.
because a lot of things are gonna set in stone.
Yeah.
And I think it's about to happen.
Yeah.
The Netherlands about to beat Sri Lanka.
their goal is to make the semifinals.
I'm telling you, Netherlands is about to beat Sri Lanka. That's 4 L's, and basically Sri Lanka's got to go 6-0 after that to make a chance.
5.
5-0.
I always love it when
A team
A
has been
team
counted out.
comes out of nowhere, slaps a few big teams, sneaks basically like, hey, excuse me, coming through, and then just right into the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Last time I saw something like that happen, Kenya made it to the 2003 World Cup semifinals. I think, if I'm not wrong,
I don't remember that far back.
either they made it to the quarterfinals or the semifinals. I think that's the only time some non-recognized team. I think Kenya was like one of the top 12 teams back then, but still not top 10.
Yeah.
And they snuck
Happened
it.
to Kenya.
Yeah.
Politics.
Exactly. So something like that.
Yeah.
I would always admire, but I don't think it's happening this World Cup.
But they're not making it. But I'm saying
Yeah.
that they're gonna. Okay, so what's Pakistan's hardest game coming up?
Afghanistan.
I think their hardest game is.
You know why I said that? Because I knew that's what you wanted
That's
to say.
no, that because it's true.
Interesting.
Because it is true. Those boys are gonna give them. The boys in the blue are gonna give them the most trouble.
You think it's the color?
all the boys in the
I
group.
don't know what
I
it
think
is.
I think it's not either like India or Pakistan. I think they're their biggest opponents.
Afghanistan.
No. Pakistan is their. No. Not Afghanistan's biggest opponent, bro. I'm saying Pakistan is their only. Exactly. Like if they learn how to beat themselves, they can beat any team in the world, man. But that's strictly for another day.
So this weekend, of course, is going to be a defining weekend in some ways. We'll start to kind of piece a picture together. If Pakistan wins, that's going to be a huge win for them.
Yeah.
Right. That's a huge win for them because then I think what's their toughest opponent? You took a L to India. That's fine. I think again, if you chase, you win tonight. You beat Australia.
Yeah.
You get a close game with Afghanistan. That's probably going to be the closest game you're going to see all tournament.
Super over? Calling it?
Not super over, but it's going to be pretty close, pretty darn close.
Let the spirits tell you what it is.
Right. And after that, you pretty much, it's an easy target with Bangladesh. I think you win easy. I think you beat New Zealand, and I think you land number 3 on the points table.
These are some bold predictions. Sir.
Both predictions. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Take
Get
it to
your
the
betting
bank.
cards
again.
ready.
Last time we sent it to the bank.
Listen, what happens is, I started off with some rough predictions, and now predictions are starting to even themselves out.
You definitely picked up your game.
It's a lot. Yeah, you haven't bet after that, so that's the problem.
We have $50 on the highest chase.
You recall this?
Highest chase.
Highest
You
cheese.
don't need to. I have records.
All right, bring the record up. I don't remember.
I said the Pakistan's record's going to get broken again. You're like, oh, what, $50?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
In this,
that
in
one.
this. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. That happened.
That happened.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, that
So
happened.
that one's pending.
All right, give me something excited, like something full of juice and like, what's going on?
Okay, New Zealand, India, what's going on?
What, with New Zealand, India?
Yeah.
New Zealand's winning.
New Zealand's winning? Wow.
You want it juicy?
I
You have
did
it.
want juicy.
You want to juice? They're gonna take him down. And you know the thing about that is when there's a difference. A guy who gets hit and keeps getting back up is a stronger guy than the one who's never been hit. And when they get hit, that might be the downturn for their tournament.